Okay, so, um, plans for tonight didn't, go as planned. So, I didn't quite feel like playing a game on my own, basically, because I feel like it was just gonna remind me a little of the plans kind of falling through a bit, so I figured, you know what, let's just do another reading of Katawa Shoujo, so. Or makes it, but I mean, I know this is very spontaneous, it's this minute, pretty sure no one was expecting it either, so. No one anticipated it either, so it's another thing. But, well, I mean, what happens happens, yeah? Okay, so let's see. Alright, foot and mouth. Let's see. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, like in my new hometown, even if it's gonna be mine for only one short year. Yeah, short. Whatever. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly, I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. What do you mean? The smell of the city is awesome. Amy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Hisao. What are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room making room on the already small bench. I seat myself in the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Amy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Reen and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch as promised. Homemade, no less. Huh, I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Can I see a picture of it? Thanks. I make it myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Reen deftly opening lunchbox and popping a fork full of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. Oh, you seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I nearly choke my lunch, trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk. It's sort of an obvious question. How'd you two meet? Reen seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought that we complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms thanks to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it? Ah. So I started helping Reen get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have Choloish shirts. Alright, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? What have we this Sunday night? Yes, I know. I know. Like I said, I have plans. It kinda fell through. So, I'm just like, you know what, let's... I don't want to really play a game by myself because I feel like it's gonna remind me that I am by myself at the moment, so... So I thought, you know what, let's just stream. And, you know, at this point of time in the night, let's read. Katawa Shoujo, why not? And since, you know, we're barely, like, what, the Act 1 of Emmy's route, then... It's not a biggie to do this tonight. Because then, I mean, I'm assuming that I'm, like, knocking off more. And then we'll just get into the meat of it later in the week. So yeah, I'm trying to make the best of a night that didn't go as planned. Not that I'm upset, because okay, I'm a little disappointed, honestly. I'll admit, I am a little disappointed, but at the same time, I understand basically what happened, so... Because, I mean, you can be both, right? You can understand when things don't work out, but at the same time, you can't help but be a little disappointed that they didn't work out, so... So, yeah, here we are. Making the best of Sunday night. Ugh, this isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Reen is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better, and yet confused. Thanks, Filter. Hopefully you'll have some fun. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I mean, to put it bluntly, I had plans with Icy, but I think he's sleeping. I tried calling him, he's not answering, so I'm assuming he might have accidentally forgot to unmute his phone. You know, take it off of silent. Which, you know, he only does that when, that, or maybe he's just so dead asleep that he didn't hear the phone ring at all. Yeah, I'm assuming he's just that tired, okay, that, and I'm gonna let him sleep. I already tried calling him, both on Discord and on the phone, and no answers, so I'll leave it as it is. I'll let him sleep and, you know, go from there. Besides, he did wake up really early last night to talk to me, so, yeah. I'm not gonna be... I won't get too hung over one night of him just wanting to sleep, you know? So anyway, yeah, let's get back to reading. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm gonna just stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Reen nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. A sagely nod. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Reen speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be a cranberry juice, one to Reen that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Reen dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. Damn. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is. This time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Reen are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Reen especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Hisao, how do you like it up here? Huh? Oh, it's quite nice actually. I like high places. For the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Reen and I will just keep eating lunch. All alone. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding! I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. Lunch bell rings, signaling return downstairs. Reen, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Reen shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. I wonder, is this something new? Can I skip it? Oh yeah, I can. Oh. I feel like that was familiar. Okay, well this is new. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room to read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I never actually read the original book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I started thinking of myself as some kind of an Alice too, haplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this fuck man, cripple Wonderland. Bro. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location and the overt way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It is like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice. Despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me. I hate when people don't finish their food. I see it every day, trust me, it's not weird. I personally don't mind it. Assuming that I could kind of eat it. Like, do you still want that? Otherwise, I don't really mind it too much because I've been on the receiving end of don't let food go to waste. As in, you're not gonna leave the table until you finish what's on your plate. A lot of times being food I don't want to eat or don't like. Well, don't get me wrong, like, while it's good to, you know, kind of get your kids to eat new food and all, it doesn't help if you're forcing them to eat it. And, I don't know, like, it's always made me feel bad for being, like, a picky eater, which I am. But, yeah, it's just a cultural thing, because, you know, my family, like, they're of a generation where food was hard to get. So they put a lot of value into not letting food go to waste, because they knew that if it was them at my age, they would have happily eaten everything. It gets fuzzy when you're giving way too much food. Okay, yeah, there's another thing too. Big portion sizes, where you can't finish it. It's like, man, fuck, I need a box for this, or I'm gonna save it for later. Or in a case of my eyes were bigger than my stomach, I made a mistake. No, for me, like, when that happens, though, I at least try to... If it's salvageable to save for another meal another day, I will do that. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad, like it has since that time in the forest with Hanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put the book down for a while and stared at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fall asleep. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. Here, kid, turn to page whatever. Completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Don't get me wrong, I've had teachers who were like just... You could tell they were just not feeling it today. And they'd be like, please guys, if you could just do this for the rest of the class. And just let me sit at my desk and, you know, just behave. That'd be great. And she would just hand out like a very quick handout, like a quick printout. It could be like the dumbest thing sometimes, like a word search or crossword puzzle and all that. And she would be like, okay, that's your schoolwork, so I gotta give you something to do. Of course, at the time, you know, like, I didn't quite understand fully understand what it was, you know, to be like that, and then now as an adult, yeah, I get it. Okay, so I guess we'll get along just fine, Murda. I try to save my food if my eyes are bigger than my stomach. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. Oh, right. I'm not sure if there's any fathers in the chat, but, you know, happy Father's Day. I don't know if you guys celebrated or when did something or don't care for it because you have a bad father. You know, we're not gonna talk about that. But for those who, you know, when and celebrated, hope you had a good time. I know I did with my dad. And he liked the gift I got him. He wanted like long nose pliers, and I got him like a set of 3 straight ones, 45-degree and 90-degree ones. That can partly be attributed to the 2 empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Sure. What's this about? It's probably better we speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. It's never good when they don't want to talk about it in front of the class. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he is trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Oh, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes, yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Muto closed his eyes in frustration. I realized that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Did as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. Sorry, not sorry. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you, and every other student here, can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. And it's foolish on top of that. It's just foolish. If, medical advice, they tell you, hey, how about you don't overexert yourself? You can do casual walking, but don't overexert yourself. Like, you shouldn't be doing exercise that gets your heart pumping too hard, obviously. That's why it's also really bad, by the way, kids, to discharge yourself from a hospital against medical advice, because if anything were to happen after that, the hospital is no longer liable. So yeah, never check out sooner than you have to. If they discharge you when they say, it's best to wait until then. So whenever I see this like on TV or on movies where they're like, oh yeah, I'm leaving right now. What do you mean? You can't leave yet? I'm like, buddy, you are leaving um you're leaving against medical advice. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, hang on a second. Oh boy. Okay. Sorry, I just got a message right now. I wasn't anticipating that at all. Okay. Alright, for now, just continue reading. Okay, I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it is some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Richard appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. Tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Oh, well, yeah, you gotta keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. I could trust you to be unpredictable. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto does not even notice them. He turns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Muto and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks their remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday. The class size is one, into the regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties at a blink, as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the question so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako's the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so the oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Oh wait, give me 1 second, hang on. Okay. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lets splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Let me see. Just end the stream. I hope you don't feel like you have to quit to practice. Oh no, we're just kind of sorting out things. I just wasn't expecting him to wake up when he did right now. But now at the same time, I'm also feeling weird because I did ask him too, like, do you want me to just end it? It's fine. And he's like, no, don't end it for me. Which, you know, at the same time, I kind of appreciate that he, I don't have to, because I can't say enough all the times that I had to force a stream to end sooner because of the ex, you know, my ex, the recent one that every time I tried streaming, he'd always take that moment sometimes to just call in the you know, then just fight. And I know I've said, you know, like, real life matters more, but I don't know. Sister Sleepyhead, I thought it was bad or troubling. No, it was just Icy waking up, yeah. No, I even told him, I was like, you know, if I had known you would be awake in about like 30-ish minutes, I would have held off. But, you know, it's fine though. At least he's understanding, and I appreciate that so much. Just give me 1 second. I just gotta give him a little reassurance. We should be fine. Oh, there you go. Work waits for no one. Yep, it's alright, Candy. Go get some rest. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Oh, excuse me. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Nighty-night, Candy. Hanako? Damn, just runs. Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. Aww. Poor Hanako. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. About 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything I could do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that and buzzing around like little worker bees. Everyone against the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, think about what I do. I'll drop off my books to the dorms first, and then... something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji's in his room. Don't. Don't. Oh my god. On the way to the dorms, I saw Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her, and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hisao! Spatters of white and green of paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide, as it seems it always is. She gets closer to me, amplifying the feeling she's examining me. What you doing? Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect. Then you can help me and Reen. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor, into the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy, had I known. So, is Reen working on that mural still? That's right. She used all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I wanted to get them from the art classroom. And you need me to help with that? Well, Reen told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So, thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff in the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves, and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials laying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in the most unorganized fashion. Some look like they have been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. Smells of paint, turpentine, whatever, and brush paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me, as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she could see them, and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf, oh my god, the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, glaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding. Henry, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but I can't come up with a retort. With a grudging, turns her back to me. Spigot scrounging around the top shelf for paint while below, Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double-checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on the desk like a treasure hunter spoils do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. But Amy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Reen. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Reen is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me. But with Reen, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. Emmy giggles at that, as well as my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes. Oh, on that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Reen's... oh, whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. With them working as a single entity sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Reen are. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry, just one last resolution. I think we're good. And Reen is the most different of them all, different from anyone else I've met. She walks to the beat of her own drum. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I turn to that word again, as if it encompasses Reen's personality by itself, but really it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp about for a properly descriptive word. She's just weird. I remember reading somewhere, who was it? The actress who plays Matilda in the old Danny DeVito one and all that. Like where she grew up and stuff, she said that she hated the word quirky. She says quirky is what you call weird, attractive people. Like, oh, because I look pretty and stuff, you know, you just think, you don't think I'm weird, you just think, oh, you know, oh, she's quirky. It's like, no, if I was unattractive, then you would just say, I'm weird. So it's kind of nice that Emmy is straight up saying, no, she's just weird. Even though, you know, Reen is, you know, she's pretty cute. She's still cute in her own way. I wouldn't call her unattractive, no way. Okay. You know, earlier she just spent half an hour sitting on her box. Her box? Box? What box? And stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. Disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird, imaginary things populating the spaces between. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settle myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems like the area around the wall seems untidier at the same time as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. She needs the caffeine. Reen herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying spectrum of war paintings similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Arena ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run into the corridors again? Hisao, help me. Emmy points victoriously at me. Rain turns around, following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking in my general direction. Unimpressed. Alright, sorry. Little water. She nods absent-mindedly at me. Absent-mindedly. There we go. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me and movements like in a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hisao. Thank you for the help. No, don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell. But now you get more bad luck. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. That's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course, not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So, artists can't find romance, their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club, you see. Blind boy. So he doesn't see. You already told me. I glanced sideways at Emmy. She glances back in a way that tells me that she has heard this one before, too. Even Emmy's face looks kind of funny right now, like, Neither of us says anything to Reen, though, so she continues her monotone soliloquy on an unfunny stand-up comedian. You should become an artist. No bad luck, guaranteed. Don't you think that'd be a good idea? That only blind people should become artists? Oh, no, that's me. That only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. You might have a point. Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I can recognize, but I can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Emmy, I need the Prussian blue paint. Oh, which one's Prussian blue? She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with Prussian blue paint in it. Geez, Rain, you're not helping at all. I look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. Or what Prussia even is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. It's what, Iran and all that area, the Middle East is, I guess, or used to be. Or, no, wait, no. Prussia used to be the initial name, right? Before it got divided into all those Middle East countries, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. While none of the blues look more Prussian than the others, the small print on the labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There is no Prussian blue here. We need to go get more then. I wouldn't mount to say that. Actually, we're not both needed for such a simple task, like finding another pot of Prussian blue. But Emmy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I wait to Reen, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Well, she knows when she goes for a Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. Probably not, actually. Well, I'm busy thinking of how weird Reen is. Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Huh? Emmy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I could keep up. Comprehension dawns in her face. You're not out of breath, are you? That's almost an accusing... There's an almost accusing playfulness in her tone. Tempted to deny it, but then I realized I've been breathing heavy since we stopped. Guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everybody can be in shape, you know. Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is... I should get in shape? Not that I had already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figured there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually I wasn't. But it was... fun? Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of a decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me. I beg your pardon? In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I got our routine all planned out. In fact, this is a crumpled sheet of paper. I got it right here with me. I take the sheet of paper and give it a once-over. Times, dates, and laps, all laid out. A slow increase from just a few laps a day to, my god, does she expect me to have me running marathons? And where does she find the time to get this all together? And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this? A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy. Maybe Kenji's onto something here. The feminine conspiracy. The feminist conspiracy. This seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. God, Kenji. If you could only see the scheme unfolding. What do you need a partner for anyway? It's easier to keep up a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I keep running as well. Accountability, buddy. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse. And I'll be keeping an eye on you just like he asked. You caught on quick, Hisao. And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. I've got to at least put up a token of resistance. It's such a masterfully executed plan. Well, if you refused, I'd have to pout. I'd have to pout. Pout? Really? And you'd have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibanazaki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? As it's demonstrate, Emi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like I just hit a puppy. That's settled, right? You're gonna be my running partner? Follow the workout? And the dietary plan? The dietary plan? Yeah, the dietary plan. You gotta eat healthy or you gotta get in shape, you know? Examine the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here. Oh, right, I forgot to give that to you. Another sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed. I had the nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. And again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. No, you're not, buddy. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, this dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that'll be offered at the festival tomorrow. Huh. So, when does our running start? After the festival. Right after. What if I had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know. I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't there something we were supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should get that paint for rain, huh? Oh no, it slipped my mind! By the time we get the paint to get back to the mural, Reen's already wandered off. Oh well. Emmy and I both decided to part ways here. Oh, there, leaving the paint on the ground. Reen will find it, whenever she comes back anyway. Festival tomorrow. I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, the weeks left me feeling pretty tired, so I read a little and then go to bed. Oh, alright, getting to that festival. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine, so it's a Sunday and there are no classes. Not just a Sunday though, but the festival as well. From my window, I can already see some people at the soba booth slinging noodles onto plates for people with a craving for low-quality food. Wait a minute. Haven't I ever seen this? Yeah, I have. Let's skip it. Oh, okay, this is new. I wonder... I'm kind of hungry, but I made this deal that I try to take better care of myself. Be healthier, you know? Don't know if I should steer clear of the takoyaki or head straight in. Deal? Sounds ominous. What are you getting in return? Nothing, I guess? It's not that kind of a deal. You know Emmy from our year? Kinda agree to watch each other's backs and... Jesus! Why is he screaming? The she'll scream and the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. It's as if I told a Catholic priest I sold my soul to the devil. You sold your soul to the devil and you didn't get anything in return? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Do you know who you're dealing with? She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends to the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles? She's one of them. A key player in the vast conspiracy that aims for the complete submission of everything that is manly. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I trusted in your judgment, man. I thought we were brothers. You have to call it off before it's too late. This festival too. Just one of their ploys. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he is trying to start a fire, and then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. I'm gonna have some place to hide in, a safe haven, and then knock the lights out of myself so that I don't have to experience this horrible day. Jesus, I have the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Oh, Kenji, yep. Don't go to the festival. Okay. Later, dude. Ursula closes a slow creak and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. It's kind of unsettling, and now I start to feel doubtful myself. Should I bother going? Got a book I've been meaning to read. Something about an underground postal system that may or may not exist. It's short too. Gonna have it finished in a day. But would that be a good way to spend my time? Well, yeah, it definitely would be. But I suppose that it would probably be a better idea to head outside. See the festival. Try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up the somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat, my stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from one of the stalls outside. People who may or may not be the parents. Okay, maybe they've seen this already. Oh, no, it's not. It's new. I'm soon outside, surrounded by various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often I catch a glimpse of someone who clearly just came up from town for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. Ones who can't stop staring, and behind their eyes you can tell they're thinking, now what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them. But at the same time, can't I deny that I've been doing the same thing all week? A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me. Guilt for my own narrow-mindedness. I push the thoughts aside, concentrating on the pangs of hunger that burn my guts like a wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land, where I can get some lunch. I'm just getting my order when a loud voice interrupts me. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Having lunch? Breakfast? You mean you just got up? Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I meant lunch. Honest. She's not buying it. Brunch? That's not a healthy breakfast at all. She snatches my food out of my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing? Hey, that's my breakfast. What happened to it being your lunch? That's my... whatever, it's my food. Emmy places her hands on her hips and begins lecturing me. Did you really forget your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your health, Hisao. What about your heart? My heart's fine the way it is. Mostly. All I get a response is a roll of the eyes. I doubt that. You wouldn't be here if that was the case, would you? Oh, the girl's got a point, of course. I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly it can handle a little grease now and again. Yeah, sure. And it handled a little running just fine, too. Emmy seems unconvinced. Not surprising, as I haven't even managed to convince myself. Huh, maybe, but not if you're sleeping the day away all the time. A devious look suddenly crosses her face. Of course, if you'd been following routine from the beginning, you wouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I've had a pretty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died, and there was a lot of meeting people, and then I was on a roof for a while. Which is no excuse for slacking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise. Oh, man. It's not stopping you now, is it? Oh, fucking heavy. Like running in the mornings. She nods, as if something important has just been decided. So it's settled then. You've seen the error of your ways and are willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll be running buddies. You know, you'd already convinced me yesterday that this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job of being convinced. Ugh, she's right about being eating healthy after all, and here I am ordering up something grossly unhealthy. But delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like staying alive. If Emmy were here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably... Emmy is just a big ball of uncontrollable energy. Damn it, Weber, get out of here. And wait a second. A sudden question springs to mind. Hey, why the hell have you taken such an interest in my well-being? Emmy shrugs and grunts at me because she feels partly responsible for almost killing you. You're the new guy. I figure you don't have any friends yet, right? Besides, I caused you trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would. Anyway. Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy. Well, I suppose there are worse fates. Okay, that sounds fine. Thanks for your concern. Tomorrow morning then. I figure that ends the conversation, so I turn to leave. Not so fast. I feel a hand on my collar, and in a second I've been yanked backwards. Hey, no need to be so rough. What do you want now? Emmy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question. Thought you could use of the company. Her eyes narrow. Besides, you were just trying to sneaking some more of that fried crap, weren't you? Well, I wasn't going to, and now that she mentioned it, that would have been a really good idea. I was not. Another glare. Okay, maybe I was going to get a little... The glare continues. Okay, a lot. Jesus, I'm endangering myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier and then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way. I knew it. You can't be trusted. Now I definitely have to stick with you. This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine what Pasha might think of the sight of me being lectured by a tiny girl half my size. Yeah, I should just give up now. Fine. Do what you like. I sigh. Might as well just make the best of this. What do you want to do? Emmy thinks for a minute. Well, I promised Rena I'd stop by her mural. So let's do that. I confess I'm slightly curious of how her mural turned out myself, so again, I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent and find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Emmy races to her destination. By the time we reach the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart should be pounding after just that. I take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. I'm one of the most normal-looking people in the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I'd lost a hand or something. At least then it'd be obvious that I belong. Instead, I don't even look sick. Even now, trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Amy looks back and notices my state of distress. You're not gonna die on me, are you? Jesus. Please don't. It'll be all my fault, and then I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, after the last time, I really don't think I need to see that again. Especially because the nurse will totally say it's all my fault. Nah, I'm fine. Guess I need to start running after all. And you want to keep eating your greasy... whatever it was. See, it's a good thing I found you, right? Yes, it was. Maybe. Of course, I don't add that I wouldn't be in the state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Further conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rean. Oh, it's you. Hello, Emmy. Hey, Rean. I brought Hisao along because he was going to give himself a heart attack. I was not. My ejection goes unnoticed. We stopped by to see how the mural turned out. Rean nods slowly. Well, it's right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rean's been standing here in front of the mural. Has anyone even stopped by to look at it? Are we the first ones? Obviously we're not the first to see it, of course. I mean, it's pretty big. You'd be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rean about it. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. It looks pretty good. I'm still not happy with how it turned out, but I guess it'll do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. This is interesting. Standing in front of the mural, taking it all in. This is like psychedelic as fuck. And it keeps going and going. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. Alright, there's some nudity. It's actually fairly interesting. It's a lot of faces I noticed. That's the first hand. The colors swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. And there's definitely feet, of course. There's dreamlike quality to the whole thing that makes me almost sleepy. I try hunting out some of the colors Amy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well. That shit's in there somewhere. My feet start to hurt. Rean doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey Rean, have you eaten? Eaten? Of course. Can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe. But I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good. Come get some food with us. Rean nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care. Whoever they are. Rean is my spirit animal. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I'd better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. We find a nice spot in the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchases anyway. Somehow, I've wound out paying for all the food. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat and Reem stares at something or other, occasionally eating a bite or two of her food. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Hisao? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We started morning runs, remember? Actually, it slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You'd better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. Oh, God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't call it a random acts of God, then. Plan forms itself in my mind. A plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw into execution anyway. Damn it, I earned a little fried food. And anyway, I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? So the actual routine all starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with Wound abandoned before the hospital. The diet always starts tomorrow, doesn't it? Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do, and if I'm going to run in the morning, I should make it an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not just going to sneak off and buy some of that fried stuff over there? No, I'm too full to bother now. I pat my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. Amy giggles. It's a surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's gotta know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just not trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. All part of my master plan, Hisao. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food. And for keeping us company. Here I thought she'd do me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow because that would be like predicting the future. And I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stands and buy some cake. At least it's not fried, right? That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy, though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me, and I flop into my bed and read through the fireworks display. Eventually, all the walking around, or more accurately, running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. Emmy dragging me out in the morning to run might just be a good thing after all. It's something to look forward to. Oh, is this the end of Act 1? It is! Oh, it's her putting on prosthetics. Can't keep up. Don't die, man. Oh, walk to the finish line. Act 2, form. Alright, I think right there is a good point to stop. It's Carnival. Finish Emmy's Act 1. Okay, we are going to save here, and I think we'll call it a night. This is a good point to stop anyway. Pace ourselves. And it's a bit of an impromptu stream anyway, so, you know. But I'm glad. This is good. This is really good that we can... Oh, we could start like this next time. Oh, beginning of the end. Well, at least we finished Hanako's route, so I'm pretty glad. So we're gonna cycle through. Alright, yes. Main menu. Yes. Let's see how it's filling out. Oh, it's right there. And covering up her butt pretty well from the Heisao pic. So it's like 3 pictures, right? So, yeah, because it's like Act 2, 3, 4, maybe. And then here. I think hers was like past, present, future. So I thought they were gonna be like spreading out right here, but it looks like they're branching out like right here. Alright, but anyway. This is a good point to stop. And then this means next time I read this, we're gonna go right into Emmy's room. So this is good. I feel like I did a good call here. Alright guys, so that said, let's call it a night here. Thank you for joining my sudden surprise stream. So, tomorrow night, you know, I mean, the rest of the week, I mean, I know I haven't put up the schedule yet, but it's about this usual stuff, you know. Tomorrow will be Persona 3 Portable. Tuesday will be Katawa Shoujo. At least this is what I have in mind anyway. Wednesday, P3P again. Thursday, Maneater. And then finally, Friday, as usual, Final Fantasy 14. Alright, that said, have a good rest of your morning, day, night, whatever, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. So until then, take care. And bye-bye.